Hey dear learners, welcome back to e-learning platform of GS College of Commerce, Varda. I'm Assistant Professor Rajeshwari Sharma here, and this lecture is for the BCom second semester for subject Business Economics. So, as far as the subject is concerned, here we are dealing with our second unit, that is price and output determination under different forms of market. In last lecture, we have started with very first topic of this unit, that is perfect competition and price output determination under the perfect competition market. So, in last lecture, we have seen the meaning of perfect competition market, okay, and the features of perfect competition market. So, let's take a recap of those contents. What is perfect competition market? It is a market which is characterized by various features like large number of buyers and sellers, perfect knowledge of market to the buyers and sellers, homogeneous product, free entry and exit, no transportation cost, and absence of artificial restrictions. Okay, so this is the certain features of perfect competition market. In today's lecture, what we are going to see? We are going to see price and output determination under the perfect competition market. So here basically we are going to deal with what? We are going to see the behavior of industry and behavior of firm in perfect competition market. Then we are going to see the equilibrium, how the equilibrium output and the equilibrium price is decided in case of industry and in case of firm. Then we are going to see what are the conditions for the equilibrium of the firm. This is the agenda of today's lecture. These are the points that we are going to discuss in today's lecture. Okay, so everything that we are doing today is related to the perfect competition market. So even though I'm not mentioning again and again perfect competition market, still it is implied that everything we are doing today, every graph and every table that we are seeing today, it's related with the perfect competition market only, because we are dealing with the price and output determination under perfect competition market. Okay, so what is basically the equilibrium position? What is basically the equilibrium condition? Equilibrium is a condition where demand is equals to supply, where the demand and supply are equal. When they are equal, where they are equal, the point at which they intersect each other, they are equal. Like here we are going to draw a curve. Okay, we are going to draw a graph to decide the equilibrium point for industry. But before that, we need to understand two things. One thing, elasticity of demand in perfectly competitive market, and the second very important feature is the firm is the price taker in the perfectly competitive market. So when we talk about the elasticity of demand in perfectly competitive market, so what we find that there is perfectly elastic demand in the perfectly competitive market, because demand reacts too much to the change in price. If you are changing your price by very negligible percent, that is 0.001%, still demand can react up to 100%. So this way, from this you can understand how elastic the demand is in the perfectly competitive market. Okay, so here we have perfectly elastic demand in the perfectly competitive market. And the second thing that we need to understand here, the price, when we talk about the price maker and the price taker, so here the industry is the price maker and the firm is the price taker. Why? Because all the firms are engaged in selling homogeneous product. If the firm is going to change its price above the industry price, so it will lose its customer base, and if it will set its price lower than the other firms in the market, so it will have to bear the losses. Okay, it will have to incur the losses. Therefore, firm has to adopt the price that has been decided by industry in the perfectly competitive market, and therefore firm is the price taker over here and the industry, that is market, is the price maker over here. Okay, so first of all we will begin with the graph of industry. So how equilibrium is decided in the industry, and what is the meaning of equilibrium? So equilibrium is a point whereby the demand and supply remains equal to each other. Okay, where the demand and supply curve intersect each other, that point is called as equilibrium point. Here we will see this is the price line. Y-axis is representing the price, x-axis is representing the output. This graph shows industry or market, and this is the graph for firm, or you can say individual. So first of all, we will see how the equilibrium price and equilibrium output is decided in the industry, that is in the market. So it is decided by the interaction of demand and supply forces. Okay. So how do we draw demand curve? What is the slope of demand curve? So in previous lecture we have seen that demand curve slopes downward from left to right. Okay. So this is our demand curve. Why does it slope from left to right? Because of inverse relationship between the price and demand. When the price increases, demand decreases. When the price decreases, demand increases. That is why you can see this curve slopes downward from left to right. So this is our demand curve. What is the slope of supply curve, or how do we draw supply curve? So supply curve slopes upward from left to right. Why does it slope upward from left to right? Because there is direct relationship between the price and supply. When the price increases, then the supply also increases. When the price diminishes, then the supply also diminishes, right? That is why it is having upward slope from left to right. Now what we said, where the equilibrium is achieved, the point at which demand and supply curve intersects each other, at that point the equilibrium is achieved. Okay, so here at this point you can see that the demand curve and the supply curve are intersecting each other. That is why it is the equilibrium point. So here we can say that this EP is our equilibrium price and this EO is our equilibrium output. Okay, so here we have seen how the equilibrium price and equilibrium output is achieved in case of industry. Now what we have to see? We have to see how the equilibrium is attained in case of a firm. So one thing I need to remind you over here is, I have told you that in perfect competition market, industry is a price maker and the firm is the price taker, right? So here whatever price has been determined or decided by industry, so firm has to follow it. Therefore this EP would be the equilibrium price for firm as well. So we can stretch this line, okay, and firm will also follow this price. So here this is the equilibrium price for the firm as well. This EP is the equilibrium price for the firm as well. Okay, now I'm saying that this is the price line, this is the demand curve, this is the average revenue curve, and this is the marginal revenue curve as well. So in perfect competition market we can say price is equals to demand is equals to average revenue is equals to marginal revenue. Is it true? Yes, it is true. Why it is true? Because madam is saying that. No, because there is a logic behind it. What's the logic? We will try to understand it now. See, what I have told you in the beginning of lecture. In the beginning of lecture, I have told you that in case of perfectly competitive market, the demand is perfectly elastic. Due to little change in price or the no change in price, demand reacts too much. Okay, and when the demand reacts too much, say this is the demand curve. This is the demand curve. This is the graph for the demand of perfectly competitive market. Okay, and here we are representing price by P, and here we are representing quantity by Q. Okay, now we will assume that here the P is the prevailing price and Q is the prevailing quantity demanded at price P. Now just assume that there is no change or very negligible change in price. So how the demand will react to this negligible change? Demand will react too much. If the price has declined, so it may happen that demand can increase up to a great extent due to the negligible change, or if the price is increased, price has increased by very negligible percent, so demand can decline too much. Okay, so this way, when you talk about the perfectly elastic demand, so what you get a demand curve which is horizontal to x-axis. And when you see this price line, so what you can see, this price line is also parallel to OX axis. Means this price line is having the feature of the perfectly elastic demand curve. That is why here we are saying that this price line is equals to the demand curve as well. Okay. Now I am saying this, it is equals to average revenue and it is equal to marginal revenue as well. So how we are going to see with the help of this tables. Okay. First of all, here you can see that I have told you that equilibrium price is a point whereby the demand and supply curves are intersecting each other. So here in this diagram, we have determined the equilibrium price for the industry. So here it's the price which are being shown, here it's a demand which are being shown in units, and here it's a supply which are again being shown in units. So when the price is 1 rupees, you can see that 60 unit is being demanded and the supply is 5 units. When the price is 2 rupees, demand is 35 units, supply is 35 units. When the price is increased to 3 rupees, you can see that demand is 20 units and supply is 45 units. When the price is 4 rupees, so demand is 15 units and the supply is 55 units. And when the price is 5 rupees, so demand is 10 units and the supply is 65 units. So here, where the demand and supply is equal, at what price the demand and supply is equal? So at the price of 2 rupees, you can see that demand and supply are equal. Demand is also 35 units and the supply is also 35 units. Therefore, here what's going to be the equilibrium price? Equilibrium price is going to be 2. Like, see, in this diagram, we will assume that this equilibrium price is equals to 2 and this quantity or the output is equals to 35 units. Okay, because at this point the demand and supply curves are intersecting each other. So that is why 2 is our equilibrium price and 35 units is our equilibrium quantity. Okay, now I have explained you how we determine equilibrium in case of industry. Now what we have to see, why this price line and or the demand curve is also equals to average revenue curve and the marginal revenue curve. So why the price is equals to average revenue? See, what is the formula for finding average revenue? Average revenue is equals to total revenue divided by quantity sold. Okay. And what is the formula for finding out the price of a 1 unit? So it's again total revenue divided by quantity sold. Let us assume it's a A and it's a B. Okay, and it's again it's a A, it's B and it's C. Okay, so here you can see that A and C is equals to each other. So according to the principle of transitivity, if A equals to B, so B equals to C. That is why average revenue is always equals to price. Okay. So this is we have seen with the help of mathematical formula. Now we are going to see the logic. Here you can see that at every point we have taken the equilibrium price, that is 2. Okay. Here we have represented the different quantities sold. So and then we have represented total revenue, marginal revenue and the average revenue. When the quantity sold is 8, so total revenue is 16. How do we calculate total revenue? Price into quantity sold. Price into quantity sold. Okay. Then when the 9 units are being sold, total revenue is 18. 10 units are being sold, total revenue is 20. 11 units are being sold, total revenue is 22. 12 units are being sold, total revenue is 24. Okay. So here we have seen how the total revenue is determined. Now how the marginal revenue is determined? Marginal revenue is equals to total revenue from n unit minus total revenue of n minus 1 unit. So in first case, marginal revenue is going to be 2 only. When the total revenue is 18 rupees, okay, total revenue is 18 rupees and total revenue of n minus 1 unit means 9 minus 8 unit is 16 rupees. So what's going to be the marginal revenue? 2. So here it's 2. Again, when we are going to do this 20 minus 18, we are going to get to 22 minus 20, 2, 24 minus 20, 2. So this way marginal revenue is equal, okay, in all cases in case of perfectly competitive market. Because for selling any additional unit or any extra unit, you have to charge the same price. You cannot charge higher price than the industry, or you cannot charge the lower price than industry. That is why marginal revenue is going to be same in case of perfectly competitive market. Then how do we find out average revenue? Total revenue divided by quantity sold. What is the total revenue? 16. What is the quantity sold? 8. 16 divided by 8. It comes to 2. 18 divided by 9. Again 2. 20 divided by 10. 2. 22 divided by 11. 2. 24 divided by 12. 2. Okay. So with this table, we have understood that how total marginal revenue and the average revenue is equals to the price. And that is why when we are talking about this line, so what we are saying? We are saying that this line indicates price, demand, average revenue as well as marginal revenue. Now we have got the demand curve for the firm. What we have to determine? We have to determine equilibrium. What we need to determine the equilibrium? We need demand as well as supply to determine equilibrium. What we have now? We have demand. What we have to find out now? We have to find out supply. How are we going to supply? So there are two unique features under the perfect competition market. What is that? Marginal cost curve shows the feature of supply curve in perfect competition market, and that too only positive slope or the positive side of marginal cost curve shows the characteristics of supply curve in the market. How what's the shape of marginal cost curve? What is basically the shape of marginal cost curve? So we get marginal cost curve like this. Why? Because in production function as well, we have seen that we have seen the behavior of marginal revenue. What is the behavior of marginal revenue? When production increases at the initial level, so it increases up after certain point of time, it remains constant, and after that marginal revenue starts diminishing, right? Marginal revenue starts diminishing. So at the same way, when the production increases, so up to certain point, what happens? Marginal cost diminishes. After that, after certain for certain point of time, it remains constant, so it remains stable. That is why it takes this shape. And when the production increases further, okay, when the production increases further, when the output increases further, so what happens? The marginal cost starts going up, starts rising. That is why it goes upward. So that is why we get a kind of U shape for the marginal cost curve. So this is the shape of marginal cost curve. Now what we are saying? We are saying that the positive slope of marginal cost curve shows the same characteristics as the supply curve. Let's see how. Here what we are saying? Here we are saying that our equilibrium price is 2 rupees. Okay, and let's assume this is the marginal cost curve. Okay, this is the marginal cost curve. So at this point, demand and supply is intersecting each other, so it should be the equilibrium point. Okay, now just imagine we wouldn't have set the equilibrium price of 2. Industry would not have given us the equilibrium price of 2, and if it would have given us the equilibrium price of 3. So our equilibrium point would be this. If it would have given us the equilibrium price of 4, so our equilibrium point would have been this. Okay, and it would have been our demand curve. Okay, so here what you can see that if the equilibrium changes, so the if the equilibrium price and equilibrium output by the industry changes, so the equilibrium point also changes. Okay, so and what we are trying to prove? We are trying to prove that marginal cost curve shows the characteristics of supply curve in the perfectly competitive market. So if we are going to take this curve over here, okay, so what you can see here, see, you can see that these are the equilibrium points, and at the same time these equilibrium points are representing different quantities. This is Q1, this is Q2, this is Q3. So this way, this upper side or the positive slope of marginal cost curve is representing different quantities, and that is why in perfect competition market we say that the positive slope of the marginal cost curve shows the characteristics of supply curve. Okay, now here at this point as well, this marginal cost curve is intersecting the demand curve or the marginal revenue curve. So why can't we say that this point is the equilibrium point? Because here you can see that cost is further going down if the output is being increased. Means the firm has the scope for increasing the production even after this point. That is why we cannot say that this is the equilibrium point, because equilibrium point is a point where marginal revenue is equals to marginal cost and the firm is at maximum profit. But here what we can see at this point, what we can see, firm has the scope to expand its production further. Why? Because the cost can be decreased further if the production will increase. That is why it will not be called as equilibrium point. So which point is going to be the equilibrium point? This point is going to be the equilibrium point, because if the firm will try to increase the production above this point, so cost will further rise. And I have explained you why the marginal cost curve in the perfect competition market shows the why the positive part of the marginal cost curve shows the feature of supply curve in the perfectly competitive market. Okay, so here we will draw it. Okay, so in this diagram you can see that at this point the marginal cost curve is intersecting the marginal revenue curve, or the demand curve and the supply curve is intersecting. So this is going to be the equilibrium output of the firm. This is going to be the equilibrium output of the firm. Equilibrium price we have taken from the industry. Equilibrium output we have determined with the help of we have determined by understanding how the marginal cost curve is equals to supply curve in the perfectly competitive market. And what is the equilibrium point? Equilibrium point is a point where the demand curve and the supply curve are interacting each other. Okay, so here at this point you can see that the demand curve and the supply curve are interacting each other. That is why this is the equilibrium point, and this EO is the equilibrium output. Why this is not the equilibrium point? Because equilibrium point is a point whereby the profits are maximum. But at this point what we can see, if the firm goes for the production beyond this point, so cost can further diminish, and that is why there is a scope for the increasing the production. But after this point, if the firm increases the production, so cost will go up, and that is why there is no scope for going upward. That is why this is the equilibrium point. Okay, so from this, what we can assume, what we can understand, that there are two conditions. There are two conditions for the equilibrium of the firm. What are those conditions? So first condition for the equilibrium of firm is marginal cost should equal to marginal revenue. Marginal cost should be equal to marginal revenue. And what is the second condition for the equilibrium of the firm? This is the marginal cost curve. Marginal cost curve should cut marginal revenue curve from below. Here you can see that this is the marginal cost curve. It is cutting marginal revenue curve from the below. So these are the two conditions for the equilibrium of firm. Okay. Why it is not equilibrium? Because at this point the marginal cost curve is not cutting marginal revenue curve from below. To attain equilibrium in the firm, what are two required conditions? Marginal cost should be equal to marginal revenue, and marginal cost curve should cut marginal revenue curve from below. And at this point, both these conditions are getting fulfilled. That is why we will say that this is the equilibrium point. And in case of firm, EP is the equilibrium price and EO is the equilibrium output. Okay. So this way, in this lecture, we have seen how the equilibrium price and equilibrium output is determined in case of industry and firm in case of perfect competition market. In next lecture, we are going to see the next portion of perfectly competitive market. Till then, keep going through the lectures. Try to make your concept clear by listening to the lectures again and again. And if you are having any query, any doubt, so please contact me. Stay safe, stay home, and always stay hungry for the knowledge. Thank you so much.